So students, in our previous lecture, we have studied how to style our images. Okay, how we can make a round image, or how we can insert the text in an image, or how we can add an overlay to an image. Okay, now we will learn a flexbox layout module. Okay, suppose like we'll show I will show you by doing it. Okay, suppose when we are using float left and right. Okay, so the elements are floated to the left. Okay, like here, when we are suppose when we float anything, suppose we floated the HTML, okay, body and HTML. Okay, so it will come like this. Okay, adjacent to each other. Okay, same is flexbox. Okay, but it gives various options. Okay, suppose here we'll add a topic of flexbox layout. Okay, now we'll create a div. Okay, here we'll give a class name, suppose container. Okay, inside this I will make three divs. Okay, okay, suppose I will write anything. Okay, I will write anything. Okay, suppose I've created a container div, and inside this I've created three divs. Okay, so suppose we'll save it and let's see how it looks. Okay, so now there are three letters A, B, and C. Okay, these are placed horizontally. Okay, so we have to apply our flexbox layout property in this divs. Okay, so we'll apply a styling. Okay, so we'll apply our flexbox property in this container. Okay, suppose we'll apply like we can change the display. Okay, like we are using block elements, inline elements, same way we will use a flex property. Okay, suppose we'll save it. Now our ABC is now block level element. Okay, but when we refresh it, see, now it turns to inline element. Okay, so this is the use of flexbox. Okay, we are changing the display to flex. Okay, suppose for more understanding, we'll also design these divs. Okay, so we'll like give a background color to these. Okay, like we'll also add a heading of 10 pixel. Okay, we'll also give a background color to this like add a crimson. Okay, suppose let's save it and see. Okay, so there are three letters A, B, and C. Okay, so what we have done is we have applied our flexbox to this container. Okay, this flex property is only applied on the container which is like which is a parent element of the divs. Okay, it should this container should contain the divs only then this property should be applied. Okay, we can't apply the flex box property in this div, okay, or in this div, okay. It should be a parent element, okay, parent element of some, like it should contain some elements, okay. So here we will, like, here it is, so it has more properties, this flex has more properties, okay. So we can also change the direction of this, okay. We can also use a flex direction property. See, here various options are coming, okay. Suppose we want to use a column flex direction, okay. Then let's save it, and then we'll refresh it. See, now our flex box direction has changed to column, okay. Now this changes to block element, okay. Suppose we'll inspect it, and we'll see it covers it takes the whole width of the element, okay. So you can also use a row, that is the default flex direction, okay. This is the default direction, flex direction, okay. We can also change it to row reverse, okay. Now our orientation will be reversed, okay. Now it is coming from right side, okay. It is starting from right side, A B C, okay. The same way, there is one more column reverse, okay. Now the display will be column, but it will be in the reverse order, okay. It will be starting from bottom, okay. Now we will know about one more property, that is flex wrap, okay. Suppose here we'll change the flex direction. Suppose we'll change it to row, okay. Suppose we have changed it to row, then when we, like, uh, resize the screen, okay. So now it don't has enough content, okay. Suppose we'll increase the content, okay. Suppose, now let's save it, okay. Now see, it is not adjusting itself, okay. It is not wrapping around this container, okay. It is, see, the extra elements are not wrapping itself around the container, okay. For that we also have one more property, that is flex wrap, okay. We'll use a flex wrap to wrap, means the divs will wrap around the container, okay. Suppose we'll save it and we'll refresh it. Now you can see the divs wrap is wrapping around the container, okay. Is wrapping itself around the container, okay. In earlier case it was not wrapping, okay. So this is the use of flex wrap. You can also change it to no wrap, that is the default property, okay. We'll use a no wrap, just a minute, okay. No wrap, then it will not, the div will not wrap around the container, so it is the default property. One more is there, that is wrap reverse. This wrap reverse, it will wrap but in the reverse direction, see, okay. So these three properties are there, okay. Flex wrap, it it is wrap, no wrap, and wrap reverse. Okay, you can use any one of them. Now, uh, like we also have a shorthand property. We can use these two properties in one line. Okay, suppose we'll use a flex flow property. So we have to add a flex direction. Suppose it will be row, and we'll wrap the ifs. Okay, we'll remove these two lines. Okay, now this is a shorthand property for these two properties. Okay, suppose let's save it and let's refresh it. Now we'll resize the window. See, now it is wrapping and the flex direction is row. Okay, so you can use this shorthand property. Okay, for two properties we can use only one property. Okay, now we'll close this. Now we can also adjust its like suppose here we want this content, this divs to be in center. Okay, we want these divs to be centered. Okay, to be center aligned. So what we'll do, we'll add one more property, that is justify content. Okay, see, here we have various options, center, left, right. Okay, suppose we'll give a center justify content property. Okay, now we'll refresh it. See, now the our divs are centered aligned. Okay, we can also use here various options are coming. Okay, suppose see, you can also use a left. Okay, this is the default. Okay, see, this is the default property. Okay, we can also like flex these divs at the end, like we have flex the divs to our center. We can also flex it to end by using the flex end. See, there are two properties, flex start and flex end. If we'll do flex start, see, we'll refresh the page, no changes there because it is starting from left. This is the default case. Okay, then we'll change it to flex end. Okay, we'll save it to flex end. This divs will start from, this divs will move to right. Okay, see, these divs have moved to right. So suppose more are there. Okay, we'll use a space around. Okay, we'll use space around. See, when we refresh the page, see, we have equal distances around every divs. Okay, we have, here we have equal distance, here we have equal distance, here we have equal distance, here we have equal distance. Okay, so it like differentiate the spaces between equal halves. Okay, suppose when we reduce the divs. Okay, suppose reduce the divs and we save it. See, this these spaces, between spaces are equal, and these like these spaces in start spaces are equal. These start spaces are equal, and these between spaces are equal. Okay, we can also use, if we want to neglect this space, we only want the space between our divs, so we can also apply a property, that is space between. Okay, this justify content property. Okay, we can use this space between property. Refresh it. See, now our side spaces are neglected. Only the spaces between the divs are present here. So it adjusts itself. Okay, the divs adjusts itself like to the whole div. Okay, and this side spaces are ignored. Okay, suppose for now, like we can also align these divs. Okay, like suppose I will show you. Okay, suppose here we'll suppose first increase the distance here. Okay, suppose I will give a height of 300 pixel. Okay, we'll refresh it. We will also give our div some height. Okay, suppose here we'll give some height. Suppose 50 pixel. Okay, suppose we'll give height of 50 pixel to our divs. Okay, now we will align these divs to center. Okay, suppose here we'll use our align items and see there various options are coming. Suppose we'll take our center property. Okay, now we'll refresh it. See, now our items are on center. Suppose we'll reduce the height to 20 pixel. Okay, so we have aligned our items to center. Okay, so there are various properties you can use in align items. See, here you can use flex start. Okay, it will start from top. Okay, see, it will start from top. That is the default. Okay, you can also change it to like flex end. Okay, you can also align the items to from the end. Okay, from the bottom. See, now our divs are aligned to bottom. Okay, so there are various properties which you can use in this flex box. Now we'll use one more property that is align content. Okay, for that suppose here you can use this align content property. Okay, so there are various options. Properties are the center, flex, and flex start. Okay, so before applying this, we'll will increase our depths. Okay, okay, we'll save it. Suppose we'll also ignore this justify content. Okay, now we'll save it and we'll also align items to change it to flex start. Okay, so it is the default property. Now you can see this is the default. Here we have applied like add more divs here. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of divs here. Okay, so here you can apply like align content. Okay, suppose you can apply a space between or space around. When we'll apply space around and we'll save it, then you will get the space around these divs. Okay, top and bottom divs. Okay, let's save this. Okay, see, we have like when we are putting the space between. Here you can see justify content, we are putting the inserting the this property justify content space between. Okay, here we are getting the spaces. Now in align content we are getting top and bottom spaces, and we are getting like these rows. Okay, these spaces as rows. Okay, so that is the difference between align content and justify content. It creates the spaces horizontally, but the justify content creates the spaces vertically. Okay, so here we can also apply more properties here, like space between. Will neglect the top and bottom spaces, only the spaces between the divs will be present. Okay, now we can also center it. Okay, okay, suppose we want to center it. See, now it is centered, all the divs are centered. We can also apply flex start, flex end, various properties we can use with align content. Okay, see, now it is uh, the align content is now flex start, so it is starting from start. Okay, when we'll change it to flex end, it will start from bottom. Okay, see, okay, so these are various common align content properties. Okay, let me remove all these divs. Okay, so these are various properties which we can use with align content. Now we have covered almost all the properties of the flexbox. Okay, like suppose here, like here we can also increase the, suppose like increase this particular div width. Okay, div size. Suppose we'll reduce the divs quantity. We will reduce the divs quantity. Okay, here I will have 3 divs. Okay, now you can inspect it. Suppose I will add a margin here. Okay, we'll add a margin of 20 pixel in order to separate these 3 divs. Okay, so we have a, now we have a margin. Okay, so the margin applies on this also, because this is also a container. Okay, so suppose we can also use, if we want to apply only on that div, so we can use container, and only the child divs of this container should be applied these properties. Okay, save it. Now will not have a margin on this container. Okay, only the divs will have the margin. So here we'll, suppose we'll remove this. Okay, suppose we want to increase the width of this particular div, this b. Okay, so what we'll do, suppose here we'll add a styling, inline styling. Okay, so we'll apply a property. Okay, that is flex grow. Okay, so you can use this flex grow property to like increase the width of any selected particular div. Okay, suppose I will give 5 here. Okay, so this div will grow 5 times bigger than A and C div. Okay, let's save it and see. This div is now 5 times bigger than these two divs. Okay, so we can also increase its size by one more property. Like here we can give a flex basis property. Okay, here we have to provide the uh, size. Okay, the size of this div. Suppose we are providing 200 pixel. We'll save it. Now we'll refresh it. See, now our div is 200 pixel wide. Okay, so you can also use a flex grow property, or you can also use the flex basis property. Okay, suppose there is one more property. Okay, that is align self. Means here I will have here I will move the height of this div, and I will suppose this div is the height, given the height as 20 pixel, and also given this. Okay, here we'll apply one more property, that is align self. Okay, suppose here we will apply align self. Okay, suppose I will center this div. Okay, now we'll save it and we'll refresh it. Okay, see what happens. See, now our second div is aligned to center. Okay, so these two divs are not centered because here we haven't given align self to center, we have given only to B, this second div. Okay, we can also use like here we can also use the flex start property. Okay, see, two options are coming, flex start and flex end. Okay, first we'll use flex start. We'll refresh it. See, now it is back to its original position. This is only the flex start property. Okay, this is the default. Suppose we'll use then a flex end. Okay, now we'll refresh it. Now it is on the bottom. Okay, so this is the flex end property. We'll apply when we'll apply the flex end property, it will go to the bottom side. Okay, now suppose we'll remove all these. Okay, we'll also suppose we'll see how it looks. Okay, so we have only one div. Okay, we want this div to center. Okay, to get it into center. Okay, so if we suppose here we'll suppose we'll align it to center. Okay, align it to center. Okay, we'll align it to center and save it. Okay, then see what happens. See, nothing happens because if we only apply this align item center to this div, it will not align this div. Okay, we have to use the justify content property also. Okay, justify content to center. Okay, first save it and now refresh it. See, Now it is centered. Okay. Suppose we want to align this div element to center of the, like, it should be horizontally centered and it should be vertically centered. Okay, so this div should be present here. Okay, when it will be horizontally centered and when it will be vertically centered. Okay, so what we'll do, just cut these two properties. Okay, and place it inside our main container. Okay, in which we have applied the flex property. Okay, here we'll remove the align items to flex start. We'll give an align items to center and justify content to center. Okay, then we'll save it and refresh it. See, now our div is perfectly centered. Okay, it is centered horizontally and vertically both. Okay, so these are some of the methods of flexbox. Okay, there are various methods that we can use with flexbox. Okay, so you have to study deeply. Okay, you have to practice a lot. This is the like this this comes under advanced CSS. Okay, so you have to practice a lot. Now we'll discuss about one more property. Okay, for that we'll create another page. Okay, the small topic. Okay, we'll not change the title. Okay, that is box sizing. Okay, suppose here we'll create a div. We'll suppose create two divs. Okay, inside this, suppose I will insert, suppose I will write anything. Okay, first div. Okay, and in this we'll write second div. Okay, we'll give classes to both the divs. Okay, here I will put the class as first and here I will give the class as second. Okay, now we'll target both these divs. Okay, in first div we will apply the box sizing property and in the second div we will not apply the box sizing property. Okay, so we'll know the difference, what is the importance of box sizing. Okay, so we'll target first, we'll give our styling tag. Okay, then we'll target our first class. Okay, now suppose we'll add a border to it, pixel solid red. Okay, and we'll give a padding of 50 pixel and we'll give a width of 200 pixel. Okay, we'll copy this, we'll paste it here, we'll just change the class name. Okay, okay, so here we have applied the styling property on our two divs. Okay, let me just refresh it. Okay, save it and we'll go to our we'll go to our page 23.html. Okay, so there are two divs. Okay, so we have applied a padding on both the divs. Okay, suppose we will remove the padding from this div. Okay, now see the difference. Okay, now we haven't applied any padding onto this div, so it like shrinks itself. Okay, so here suppose we'll add a margin. Okay, we'll add a margin of 20 pixel here also and here also. Now let's see. Okay, so it has padding of 50 pixel and it also has a padding of, sorry, it has padding of 50 pixel, but the second div don't have a padding of 50 pixel. Okay, so in order to make these two divs same, we don't want to remove the padding. Okay, then how can we make these two divs like of equal size? Okay, so there then our box sizing property comes into effect. Okay, when we'll use the box sizing property, we'll use the border box. Okay, suppose I have used the box sizing property in our first div. Okay, and we have given a padding of 50 pixel. Okay, now our first div is bigger than our smaller div. Our width is bigger. Okay, width and height, because it we have given a padding of 50 pixel here. Now we'll refresh it. See, now it like this our both the divs are of same width. Okay, suppose here we'll give both the cases. I will give a height of like 50 pixel. Here we'll also give a height of 50 pixel in order to make both the heights same. Okay, here we have applied the padding of 50 pixel. Okay, so just we'll inspect it. Okay, see what is happening. Okay, in our first div we have applied a border of 1 pixel, then a padding of 50 pixel. When we'll remove this padding, see, now it the two divs are of equal width and height. Okay, now we'll give a padding of 50 pixel and we'll remove the box sizing property. Okay, so this extra width, okay, this extra padding, now you can see this extra padding is present onto this div, but when we apply the box sizing property, you can see it adjusts itself, the this padding adjusts itself to the width, to the given width. Okay, this padding adjusts itself to the given width, means this 50 pixel is adjusted to this 200 pixel width. Okay, that is the use of box sizing. When we remove this, you can see now our padding is 50 pixel all around the corners. Okay, all around the sides, but when we'll check this, see, now it don't have extra padding, that is 50 pixel. Okay, it this padding adjusts itself in this width itself. Okay, so you can use the box sizing property to like neglect the padding. Okay, the padding adjusts itself in the width. Okay, so these are some of the styling properties. Now you'll know how to create a pagination. Pagination means like you have seen in some of the websites, like in the bottom pages are like some pages links are there, 1 2 3 4. Okay, if we'll click on 3, page number 3 will open. Okay, so that is pagination. Okay, so suppose now we'll create a pagination. Suppose we'll comment out this, we'll also comment out this. Okay, now we'll create a fresh pagination. Okay, suppose we'll give a class as pagination itself. Okay, now we'll create links. Okay, so how do we create links? By anchor tag href equals to and then the path. Suppose I will give hash here. Okay, I will not give any path here, and here you can give one. Okay, you can. Okay, so I've given like 4 and 5. Okay, I will give 5 pages links. Okay, I'll give a 5-page link. Okay, suppose we'll save it for now. Okay, and we'll go to our page 23. Okay, page 23 only. So here we are getting our links. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But it is not looking like we have created our pagination. Okay, so we'll do our required styling. One more thing should be there, like if we want to get to the previous page, an arrow sign should be there, and if we want to go to the next page, an arrow sign should be there. Okay, so we can create that also. Okay, we'll give our okay in here we'll use uh, like LA C. Actually, what was it was the Unicode. Okay, vacuum. Okay, suppose SEU vacuum, I guess. Arrow sign. You can also like to try this. It is not supported. Okay. Here we can also add suppose the arrow marks. Okay, like you can type pagination arrow marks Unicode. You can search the all the entities here. Okay, see here you will get all the arrows. Okay, see, list of arrows are there. Okay, suppose we'll take this. Okay, here we'll suppose I'll give hash here. Try it. So we'll apply this arrow symbol. Okay, this. Suppose we'll apply. Refresh it. So our arrow is coming. Okay, like we have to also give this code here. In the end, we'll also give arrow sign. Sorry. We'll give a link. Here we'll give a link and paste this, and we'll save it. Okay. Now we are getting our links. Okay. So now we'll style these links. Okay. So we have to style our A. Okay. So we'll target our A and First, we'll give a list decoration, sorry, text decoration to none. Okay, to remove that underline. Okay, then we'll change the color to black. So we'll refresh it. So now our the line has gone and now our links are of black color. Okay. Now what we can do is like suppose we want to hover onto this link. Okay. So we can also add a hover. Okay. So we'll change the color to like red. When we'll hover, the color should change to red. Okay. See, the color is now changing to red. Now we can also increase the font size. Suppose we'll increase the font size to 30 pixel. It is quite big for pagination. Okay. Or see, now you can clearly see. Okay. Suppose here will not apply a hover. Will apply a hover, but will change the background color. Okay. Here, suppose we'll give a crimson background color. Okay. See, it is kind of looking ugly, right? So we'll apply some more styling. Okay. Here, what we'll do is we'll give some padding. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll give some styling to our pagination. Okay. This class. Okay. Here, what we'll do is we'll display it as inline block. Okay. That means it will also be inline and it will also be a block element. Okay. So now it is quite looking quite nice. Okay. So so what we can do is we are hovering onto this element. The color background color is changing to red. Okay. So we can also add an active, like suppose we'll give a class as active, and we are will target this active class. Okay. Dot active. Okay. Suppose we change the background color of this active to suppose red. Okay. We'll refresh it. See, this is the active link. Okay. But we want our like when we hover onto this link, we don't our we don't want to like overlap the background color of that hover, okay, into this active link. Okay. So we will remove the that color, okay, into from here. Okay. We'll apply a not. Okay. And here we will apply the active. Okay. Here we have applied that when we are hovering it will not apply to the active class. Okay. Now when we save it and refresh it, now our hovering effect is now not working on to this active link. Okay. Suppose we can also add a border in our pagination. Suppose I'll give a red border. So Now we are getting a red border. Okay, we can also give some round borders. Okay, so we will give a border of radius of 4 pixel. Save it. And you can see now we have rounded borders. Okay. So we can apply like various properties onto this pagination. Okay, so we have applied a border, we have applied a hover property, pseudo selector here. Okay, suppose we want our link to be centered. Okay, so how we'll do, we'll wrap the whole pagination, okay, this whole pagination on one more div. Okay, suppose here I'll wrap this whole pagination div to one more div. Okay, we'll align it. Okay. Have indented it. Okay, now we have one more div. Okay, suppose we will give a class as we are want to center it, so we will give a center class. Okay, we'll use this class and we'll give a text align to center. Okay, so we are aligning we are center aligning this whole div. Okay, so now we have aligned our pagination to the center. Okay, so you can apply various styling properties to this pagination. Okay, or on your web page. Okay, so we have covered like almost every CSS properties. Okay, so we'll like here we have covered almost all the topics of CSS. Okay, now we'll go to W3 schools. Okay, so here we have covered almost like all the topics. Okay, here one is grid view. Okay, what is grid view means? See, the columns are separated into the page is separated into columns. Okay, you can like adjust its width. Okay, we have to give suppose width of 25%, then we have to float it first, then we have to give a width of 25%. Okay, suppose like here we'll take this example. Okay, suppose we'll copy this code here, we'll go to our page, new page. Okay, paste it here. Okay, so the code is here, we have given a div with a class name as menu. Okay, then we have added our unordered list and list items, and we have closed the div. Now we have given another div in which h1 and one h1 and two paragraphs are there. Okay, suppose we'll save it and we'll go to our page 24. See, now it is coming like this. Okay, so what we are doing here is like we are adjusting its width. We have given this header as full width, we haven't given any width to this. Okay, so for providing this width, okay, we have to first float the elements. Okay, so here we have two divs. Okay, suppose we'll Now style it. Okay. So first we'll have our class menu. Okay. So we'll like give a width of suppose 25%. Okay. And we'll give a width of 75% to main, our main class, because total is 100%. So you have to like adjust the width. Here we have given 25%. So here we have to give a width of 75%. Okay. Suppose when we'll save this and when we'll refresh our page, okay, see there is no effect. Okay. Why? Because we haven't floated this element, this div. Okay. When we'll not float, our width property will not work. Okay. Because it is taking 25% and the rest like 75% space this div should take. Okay. So it should move to like to adjacent to each other. Okay. So we have to float it to left so that these two divs can come to like come adjacent to each other. Okay. Like we'll also use a float left here. Okay. Now refresh it. See, now this has 25% width and this has 75% width. Okay, means the whole space is now the second div has now the whole width. Okay, except 25%. Okay, so if you will not put float the div to left, okay, float it to left or right, this width property will not work. Okay, then you can also like in your CSS you can also mention width like these. Okay, and then you can use it. You can give the width and like you can add a class name for all the widths. Okay, if you want to give 41.66%, just add this class dot call 5. Okay, so it will be easy. You can copy this. Suppose we'll copy this and paste it here. Okay, so suppose we want to give our width as 33 25%. Okay, so we will add just one more class called like 3. Okay, we'll just add call 3. Okay, save it. Here we have given width of 25%. We'll remove it. Okay, so that you can see that it will work. Okay, refresh it. See, this div is taking 25% of the whole width. Okay, so you can also do like this. Okay, this you can copy and paste from there, and you have the class name. You can use that class name in your div. Okay, here like you should also like when you are floating like more than 2 to 3 divs in a particular container, always put these three properties. Okay, I've told you earlier. Okay, always put these three properties to clear the spaces that the div when the div is floating, like here when the divs are floating, when there will be more than three divs. Okay, so it will take the extra spaces here. Okay, this 3 line of code will remove that remove that spaces. Okay, when you are floating This is very important property. These three properties are very important when you are using the float property. Okay, so always give these three properties. Suppose here it will be, suppose here our these three properties are given. Suppose we'll remove this. Okay, we'll run this. Okay, then we'll see in this it is not affected. This properties does not make any effect. Okay, but in some of the cases these properties are very important when you have like more than 3 to 4 divs inside of a container which is floating. Okay, so you have to, it is a good practice to use these three properties. Okay, which will like here in this properties the content is like where we are adding, we have a row. Okay, this row like this is the flight. Okay, suppose we inspect it. H1 header. Okay, so this is the row. Okay, so inside this we have our floated elements. Okay, see, these are floated elements. So we have given these three properties inside our parent, like see here we have given these three properties inside our parent element. Okay, in which the divs are floated. Okay, always give these three properties in the parent element. Okay, like these elements are floated. Okay, here these elements are floated in this particular div, row div. Okay, so always give this pseudo selector into that particular container class. Okay, and also use this box sizing property. Okay, so you will not be having any problems regarding the padding and margin. Okay, so I guess like our like CSS part is complete. Okay, so we have covered everything in our CSS. Okay, so for today I'll be ending your lecture here. Okay.